Hello and welcome back to our renovation project in central Portugal. This week we close a long-running saga with the arrival of a new toy. We put some of the old building to better use. And I get my dream of a bit of privacy. But first, let's go back to the bathroom.
That's almost a proper bathroom.
Almost a bathroom. Can I stand up now?
You can stand up now, all we need is a door.
Yeah, I've got a fly chain
Start.
that can do for step one.
Yeah.
So we'll put that up first. But yeah, pretty good.
From the inside, the bathroom door frame is a bit rotten down this left-hand side. From the inside looking out. You can see there, that's a right old bit and gets worse as it goes down. If we take a look on the other side, it's not so bad. So I'm going to try and remove the left-hand side and see if I can leave the rest of it intact rather than have to remake a frame. See if I can remove the left-hand side, replace that, and fit a door into it. Yeah, it's coming away easily. So it's cut on a mitre at the top, but I can use this for the measurements to replace it and come up with something a bit more long-lasting. So this is the door I intend to use. You'll have seen it all these years, or the last year, as a workbench. And it's about 5mm, 10mm max wider than that door aperture, so that's great. I can skim down. There's a little bit of rot in one edge. I can skim that down with the with the circular saw. Should be okay. It's pretty solid. Don't think it's as tall, so you might have a bit of a gap top and bottom, but we'll have to live with that, I think.
There's plenty of wood to choose from up in the barn. It's just a case of finding a suitable piece that fits the measurements and minimises offcuts and waste.
Always have to make a double check on the bevels just to make sure. I've cut so many times, I've cut the wrong way doing bevels for corners of skirtings and the like, but it's always worth a check.
You need to hold.
This needs to be pushed in towards.
What am I pushing?
This piece of wood.
Oh, the timber, yeah.
Yeah, which is, well, you can push on that.
Yeah.
It needs to come about 10 mil towards me. A bit more if you can. Right, that's pretty much where I want it to be there.
That's not going anywhere.
That'll do.
Brilliant.
So that is now a non-rotten door frame.
Excellent. Good.
So get the right hinges and we'll be able to fit the door tomorrow.
Okay, excellent.
And the brilliant news is that we've got our car. It's finally arrived and very pleased with it we are too. So just a quick rundown. It's a 22-year-old Toyota Corolla. It's a 2-litre diesel and in very, very smart, very clean condition. Very pleased with it all. For those of you outside Portugal, used cars here are phenomenally expensive, but many of them are maintained really, really well, go on forever. So this one's got 300,000 kilometres on the clock, and as I say, 22 years old, great nick, very clean, very straight, hardly a knock on the bodywork, very clean inside, goes like stink, 2-litre diesel, brilliant. Cost us a bit, but that was partly due to some of the repair work we had to do after we got it. We got it for a good, very, very good price. Had to do a bit of repair work on the diesel injectors and last minute hiccup with the fuel pump. But it's in great, it's brilliant, and really pleased with it. So it's got it's the estate car, which had we sort of looked at what we wanted to lug things around and to be as useful as possible. The estate car is brilliant, got the roof rack on it. We're going to be putting that to use tomorrow. We've got to get some furniture back from some friends. And no, all in all, very, very pleased. First thing I've got to do though is figure out how to fit the roof rack. So I'll crack on and have a go at that. Never had roof bars before, and the instructions on these are pretty minimal, but I think I'm getting the hang of it. It's actually quite clever, very simple, but the limit is 5 Newton meters, which is about all you can get on the short end of that spanner bar. And it says, you know, don't put a screwdriver or don't put any lever on it. So 5 Newton meters is about all you can get. It's quite neat, really. got to come down by 10 mil. And this looks to be the worst edge, so I'll take it off this side, I think. Yeah, it's a bit soggy, but it'll dry out. There's some, yeah, it's good solid in the middle there, so that'll be fine. Just going to get a bit of sunshine on it and dry it out. The other question, of course, is how tall is it? 149. I think that door needs a bit more drying out time. It's a bit soggy, it's not really taking the knife cut to mark where the hinge point goes. So I'll leave it in the sun, take it in undercover overnight. I'll probably come back to it tomorrow or the day after. And hopefully the timber will be a little better to work with.
We had great weather this weekend, so made time to visit our friends on the coast in Figueira da Foz. And quite by chance, we came across the finish of a major cycle race with all the big international teams taking part. It was all set up really well along the seafront, and we saw the main group go through on one of their early laps. We then nipped off for a quick ice cream and were back in time for the big finish.
Got it, got it, got it.
After the presentations, the only sensible thing to do was to head up to the historic Bar de Fort for drinks and a beautiful sunset. The next morning, loaded up with spare furniture and garden tools, with grateful thanks to Michael and Sam, we drove back past the spectacular castle at Montemoro Velho and the coastal wetlands that are so different to the landscape where we live. And so, back to the door saga. The panel was still quite damp, so Phil used the time to fit the hinges.
So welcome to plan B for the bathroom door. The door was a bit too damp for the screws to hold, and therefore when it was put in place it just started to sag a little bit. It was probably flogging a dead horse, I must say. So I've given up that one and started to look around if there were any other doors available. And if I come inside the main house into the front bedroom, the smaller of the two bedrooms there, the pink one, where Jane was knocking off the stuff off the walls the other day, and there's a door, and the door is in good dry condition, so that's probably reasonably usable. This one is on the same swing, so I can just undo the hinges here, probably have to cut it down for width, but that one will probably be a lot better bet for going in that bathroom door. This one swings the other way, so it'll be more of a faff. It's equally dry, but again, I don't think it's going to make much odds. I'll use the other one and get that one into the bathroom, and hopefully that'll stand up a bit better than the other one was. And it means I can have that one back as a bench as well. Win-win. No, I can get them just a fraction of a turn, but then they don't. Come on, I do dislike rusted old straight flat head, slot head screws. I'm going to have to take a bit off that anyway, so that's not the end of the world. You go inside. Now it has to rest on those two blocks like that and be can you just kick it a millimetre or two towards me at the bottom?
We then spent an age lining the door up on the hinges, dropping it into place, removing it again, adjusting it to close properly. You know the drill.
And at the end of all that, we have a bathroom with a privacy door that shuts. A little bit of a gap at the top, a little bit of a gap at the bottom, but nothing that's too worrisome. Got to put a little privacy latch onto it there so that it can be locked shut. But overall, that's the result. And that's a big step up from where we were this time yesterday. Today is the day of a big removal. All the stuff that's currently in the storeroom needs to go into a different storeroom. and then Jane can start painting. So down beside the bathroom we have the storeroom, which at the moment is full of a motley collection of odds and ends, tools and stuff. So I want to take this into another room so that this can be repurposed as a bedroom for guests. We've got some guests coming over the summer months, and it'll be rather lovely to have them in here and for it to be a bit nicer painted and a bit cleaned up. It's not the furthest move in the world. So the new storeroom is going to be inside here. Do still have to put a couple of floorboards down just to protect that bit, but with a bit of shelving, a bit of wall hanging, a bit of order will be created in here, and it will be a much better use of space for the long-term guest accommodation and gear accommodation and stuff.
We've just moved the shelving units over from the other storeroom. They're not great as freestanding units, so need to be secured somehow. The walls in this room are made out of vertical timbers covered with render. They're quite sturdy and easy to screw into, so with a few screws into the wall and some bolts to tie them together, we've got a pretty solid shelving unit. Every good storeroom has a seemingly endless supply of boxes filled with stuff.
These things are blooming heavy.
Once the room was empty, we spotted a few extra repair jobs before it would be guest-worthy. It's not going to be luxurious by anyone's measures. We're just going for rustic but welcoming. First of all, the old electrical fittings had to go before I could paint. None of it was working anyway. Our initial thought was that Phil would just patch over the holes in the roof with a bit of OSB, but it now looks like he's planning to take the whole thing down, the whole old thing, and replace it completely. So that's fun.
I need the crowbar. The sort of chiselly thing, so we've got, this one is resting on the
wall,
on the render. So this one's supporting on the render, this one isn't.
Just flapping around.
So if we remove all the timbers, this we can probably live without this one,
Okay.
and just span across from there to there, screw up into there, screw up into there. For that part.
Good.
There's so much dust and crap above here.
Of course.
I think it's worth just getting it out and cleaned up.
Yeah, I'll keep out of the room.
You're feeling the dust already. I've got the mask on. But yeah, it's going to be a bit of a lengthy, dirty job. But I think for the cleanliness and the overall, usefulness of this room, I think that's probably the thing to do.
Yeah.
It'll
Okay.
take me a couple of days to do it.
Oh dear.
But hey, it's, a little bit now and then. We'll get it cleared. It'll be fine.
Cool.
And I've got my hat on.
Good. Very wise. You are a bit of a mucky pup after all of that. Look at the state of you. Look at that. Oh dear. I think we need a shower sometime
so.
soon.
So we're about 2/3, half, more than half, nearly 2/3 of the roof is down. Mostly, I've got some decent roof joists, ceiling joists, and so I should be able to put a OSB across. Let's just check the width. What are we looking at? Yeah, so 240 to the outside, 225 width. So I've got some 250 sheets there, and if I go length. Just over 3. So 2.5 sheets will do it. What have we got? We've got 3 sheets.
Excellent. While all this was going on, I was still plugging away on the courtyard, determined to get weeds under control and sort out the levels. Just starting to level all this out. I'm quite pleased to have got all the turf off today, so that's a big step forward. So now just to do a bit of more raking and levelling to try and get it all nice and gentle slope, and then I can get some weed fabric down. And then we're going to need to cut a few more olive trees to make some more wood chip. Yeah, we'll get around to it. Thanks so much for spending time with us again this week. Please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And also share your thoughts with us in the comments. We really love to hear from you. Next week, we'll be starting to make things look pretty again, so hope you can join us then.